All right, everybody, we're back with another live time with Alec here with episode 4 of Bypassed. Arguably, as a nerd, one of my most favorite episodes. This 1-minute snapshot talks about all the 7 elements of a successful brand. And so if you're looking to build a personal brand or you're looking to understand what these other brands are doing and why they're so successful, you need to unpack 7 elements of what makes brands powerful. So let's watch the video and let's dive in deep. Enjoy.
Your brand is your reputation. It's the impression people get when interacting with you online. Here are the 7 steps to help you brand build. Welcome to #Bypassed. Authenticity. Be yourself and share your content without expecting anything back. Your audience can see you selling from a mile away. Consistency. Post frequently in a consistent tone. It may take a year to build the influence that gets your brand attention. Your story. What makes you unique? Lean into that to create an emotional connection. Expertise. Find your niche and show people you're a pro. Visibility. Don't be afraid to share your content directly with past customers or business partners. They may be more willing to share it. Connections and reviews. Share and comment on people's posts. Give them a review. Show them the interest you want. Unique value prop. What can you offer customers they can't get anywhere else? Doing these consistently will have your brand built in a snap. Want to know more? Well, this is one in a series, so hit follow on whatever platform you're watching this on, and we'll make sure you don't get... I don't feel so good.
All right, huge shout out for all my nerds out there. I see some of you guys popping in. Say hi, let me know what's going on with you today. But let's break down the 7 elements of a successful brand. These are things that I think should be on a sticky note, on your screen, on your backdrop, when you're focusing on what your content's going to be, what you're putting out into the world, because your brand is an impression people get over time. And as they build that impression, they start to identify you with that, and therefore it starts to compound and spin off that. So for example, just in your own brain, as you're kind of going through this exercise, and we're talking about branding, what is, name an insurance company. Name an insurance company, the first one that pops into your head, drop in the, it doesn't matter. Immediately, I know what happened. Immediately, an insurance company popped into your head. When I speak in front of people, when I talk to groups, this always happens. I say, name an insurance company, and they're like, Geico, Allstate, whatever. It doesn't matter. Why? Well, there's 7 elements of this thing. We're going to break it down. Number 1, first element of a successful brand, of your successful brand, has to be this overused, trite word called authenticity. Now, authenticity is overused. It's confusing, but what does it really mean? Simply, for me, it means not to put on a show. It means you should not put on a show. Meaning when you show up on your content and in your message, if it's not what you aspire to be, if it's not who you are on the inside, immediately kill that and start again. For example, I know this is a freeing example, it's very obvious, but the clothes you wear. If the suit and tie isn't you, really, if it's just something you put on because you think you're supposed to and it's not what you really present as, then dump that crap. But if it's an actual representation of who you are as a person, then wear it, wear the bow tie, go nuts. But your clothes is a great example of authenticity. How you speak, how you think, how you frame is a great example of authenticity. Are you coming up on stage, or are you actually just being yourself? That's the key one. So when you watch a video that you take and you're looking at it and you, is this really me? Would my friends say this is me? Am I showing up how I really show up in real life? It's a core component of a brand, and you cannot miss out on this. If you try to make your brand some grandiose thing that's not really a representation of you, you will fail. It won't land. It won't connect. The first one's authenticity. The second one is consistency. Now, I don't just mean consistency in what you wear, which can happen, which is fine, by the way. Consistency is fantastic in what you wear. But what's as important in consistency is how often you show up. So when I said, name an insurance company, the one that popped in your head, maybe it's not the one you use. It has popped into your head because it has been consistently pushed into your face over and over and over again. Consistency is radically powerful. And if you're committed to building a brand where someone says, here's my greatest example, name a mortgage company, name a mortgage professional. What popped into your head? You see, when you think about it like that, all of a sudden the stars start to align. In fact, some of you guys, the first mortgage company popped in your head probably wasn't your own. It probably was a competitor or the #1 internet lender in the country. Something popped in your head when I said name a mortgage company. But think about that for your customers. Think about that for your past clients, your realtors. If I say name a mortgage company, it should be your name that pops into their head. This is what consistency means. Showing up again and again over time to build that recognition. So how often? every day. Every single day is how often. So after authenticity, we have consistency. The next piece of the brand is arguably one of the most important because this is where it really pulls your soul into your brand, and that's your story. Who are you? Really? Like, what have you experienced in your life? What hardships have you overcome? What have you decided makes up the core moral view of your life? How do you see the world? Your story is as important as your authenticity, because inside your story is your authenticity. Share what makes you you. Share what you have dealt with. Share how you think, how you view the world, not in a way to alienate people, not in a political way where you're just causing a division, but in the way that is, this is who I am. Whether that's with your college degree or without, or whether that's because English is your second language or your first, where you were raised, what you experienced, that whole thing is massively powerful. And how many human beings out there do you know building a brand where you don't know anything about their story? You don't know what they came up with, what they had to deal with. That singular gap in a brand is going to create this falsity inside your representation. So I would encourage you all to understand your story and share it, the good and the bad, the stuff that you're proud of and the stuff that you learned from. Your story is an integral part of your brand and it needs to be shared. Next is your expertise. Now notice in these first three, authenticity, consistency, your story, nowhere in there did I say, talk about how great you are as a mortgage professional. Did you catch that for a second? The first three fundamental brand building elements are be you, be consistent, and be a human. Like show your humanity. None of that said, are you a good mortgage professional? But expertise is important. The world right now, the biggest competitors in the world are trying to tell the consumer that you as a local mortgage pro do not matter. You do not matter. All that matters is you got this and you can push a button and that's how you get things done in the land of lending. That's the game. They're spending millions and millions and billions of dollars on this. So you showcase your expertise. Now, let's talk about the aged professional, the guy that's been in the business 20 years like me. So if you've been in 18, but give me a break, okay? So you've been in business 20 years plus, 10 years plus. You have expertise. You built up knowledge. You understand how to solve problems. In fact, you're likely solving problems every single day. Every single day you're solving problems. So the problem for you is that no one can see you doing this. No one sees you solving problems. You're a ghost. You need to be showcasing your expertise. Get on video, document the solutions you're providing, showcase how you're overcoming solutions, and build and show everybody the expert you are. Not in posting Yelp reviews. No one cares about your humble brag about yourself, but in how the problems you're solving today could reflect the problems they're facing today. Your audience, the customers. That's how you showcase your expertise. Now, the fifth piece of building your brand is going to be visibility. Visibility. And I'm serious. Write all these down. Put them on a sticky note on your screen. Think about them as you process your life. But if no one can see you, how powerful is your brand? Now, sometimes this does not mean just posting videos. This does not mean being active on social media. Posting your own stuff on social media. What this does mean is going out to your community and grabbing them and pulling them back into your world. Here's what I mean. I talk about this a lot, but one of the core things you need to be doing on social media, you need to be engaging with other people, being interested in them, talking to them, sharing their successes, being there with their failures or shortcomings, whatever we're doing to pick. That's visibility. Secondly, you need to leverage other tools to create visibility. I talk about local marketing and getting out in your community, but I also talk about email and getting out with them. Take your content, take all the videos you do this month for first-time homebuyers, package it, and email it directly to your past customers and realtors. Take what you're doing over here and push visibility into it over here. Do not just expect that you make one video and it's done. I made a video, Alec, I put it on the internet and I got 200 views and I got no leads. You gotta drive your own visibility. Don't expect the world to do it for you. Number 6, connections and reviews. A little bit what I'm talking about, but not in the humble bragging sense. Should you have third-party reviews? Absolutely. It's social proof. Should you post them about yourself? No. But should you go build reviews? Absolutely. Now, before I get into connections, let's dive a little bit deeper on reviews. Where should your reviews be? I'll give you a hint. They should be, what's up, Scott? Your reviews should be on the largest search engine in the world. I know that sounds amazing. That's his genius brain right here. But it should be on Google. Of course, you should have a business page on Google, and people should review on the largest search engine in the world. Now, apart from that, I think you need to have reviews on Yelp. Even though I don't like Yelp personally, I feel like they're a little bit of a blackmail shop. Whatever, personal views aside, people are there. Your customers are there. So you should show up with great reviews. And now connections at the same time, building your audience, building your community online isn't a one-way street. Again, you put out videos, who cares? But if you take the time every single day to do what I call ICE and identify, connect, and engage and go find people every day, you're going to grow your brand. If you can find and connect to a larger audience over time, you expand your community and you expand your brand. Proactive brand building. It's not just about putting out videos. Proactively seeking out people and inviting them into the conversation. And the last of all 7 is the unique value proposition I even spelled it wrong because I'm a genius. Doesn't matter. The unique value proposition you provide. I'm just going to fix that right now. Ready? Can't misspell UVP. Boom. The unique value proposition you provide. Now, what is it? What is your UVP? Oh my gosh. I used to be so frustrated by this topic of UVP. I'd be at mortgage seminar meetings and I'd be like, they would write down your UVP in one sentence. I'm like, what the hell is my UVP? Because if you write down things like good customer service and I return phone calls all the time, and I got great rates and I close on time, and everyone has the same thing. Like, what mortgage professional you talk to is like, I have crappy rates and I never close. No one ever says this. So your UVP turns into this jargon, and I go, that's not really the value, is it? I'm a fierce competitor and I never lose. Like, everyone says this. So what is the UVP? Well, it's you. Now, hold on a second. Before that becomes too simplistic and your head blows off, we can acknowledge a couple simple truths. Number one, is there anybody in the world that thinks and acts and is exactly like you? No. Fair? Is there anybody in the world that thinks and acts and operates exactly like you? And the answer is no. Okay, so I am unique. And so then inside that uniqueness is a whole series of emotions and things that you're pulled towards, and personal, very, very personal things that you care about that are uniquely unique to you. Allow me to introduce myself. Uniquely unique to you. And so you talk about unique value proposition, it starts to look a lot like you, but the deepest, corest sense of you. Not just, it's me. No, it's you because of how you think. It's you because of how you operate. It's you because of how you serve people. It's you because of how you act day in, day out, how you solve problems, how you handle frustrations. That's your unique value proposition. It gets really hard to put into words until you start showcasing the other 6 areas of a brand. As you showcase the first thing I talked about, your authenticity, and you really put your real self out for people to engage with, as you do that on a consistent basis, so that you show that you can show your hard work. You can show that you're trustworthy because you're consistent and you operate. As you share the parts of your life that make you a human, the story side of you, your hardships and your trials, as you share the expertise and the knowledge you have, and you showcase how you're solving problems on a day-to-day basis, as you intentionally reach out to others to create that visibility of your own brand, and as you drive deeper connections and showcase your social proof, your UVP starts to bloom, starts to show itself in all those things. It's part of your brand. It's the wholeness of what makes you unique. I know that sounds a little woo-woo-y, but if your unique value proposition is, I provide great customer service and great rates and I close on time, you sound like everyone else. But if you start saying, no, my unique value proposition is, I went through some hard stuff. I had some bad financial decisions that I solved, and I don't want anyone else to make the same mistakes I did. As you showcase your value proposition in how you think and how you show up, like I'm an average Joe, and I'm just here to show other average Joes that you can own a home, because if I can, you can. If you show up every single day in who you are and what you think and what you believe, your UVP starts to form around that entire uniqueness of you. And the reason your unique value proposition is powerful as a brand element, as it all crystallizes around this thing, is because you cannot be replicated. Go back to my example of insurance companies. What is their brand? They're funny. They're so commoditized that they're funny. But if you realize that you're so much more than that and you start putting out all of your authentic self, man, the sky is your limit. And that's what I got for you today. Those are the 7 elements of a brand. Go, write them down, start building, start putting yourself out there in all those ways, and compound that over a year, over 2 years, over 5 years, over 10, and you will have one of the most impactful, powerful personal brands you can imagine that will attract business from all across the internets and your local community. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the internet.